is earthquake, then you are correct. Great job, Grade 6 learners! Let us now read an informational text about earthquakes. The title of the passage is Why Do Earthquakes Happen? Earthquakes usually happen when rock underground suddenly breaks along a fault. This sudden release of energy causes seismic waves that makes the ground shake. When two blocks of rock or two plates are rubbing against each other, they stick a little. They don't just slide smoothly. The rocks catch on each other. The rocks are still pushing against each other, but not moving. After a while, the rocks break because of all the pressure that's built up. When the rocks break, the earthquake occurs. During and after earthquake, the plates or blocks of rock start moving, and they continue to move until they get stuck again. The spot underground where the rock breaks are called the focus of the earthquake. The place right above the focus, on top of the ground, is called the epicenter of the earthquake. Were you able to catch up and understand the text that we have read? That's good. The text, Why Do Earthquakes Happen, is an example of informational or factual text. This is because it provides us with information on what happens when an earthquake occurs. These are all called factual information. So, let us talk about informational text. Informational text is the type of text that gives facts about people, objects, or events. Its two basic elements are classification and description. It starts by mentioning the category to which the topic belongs. For instance, if the information report is about Dr. Jose Rizal, it begins by mentioning that he is a national hero of the Philippines. Then, it proceeds with a more detailed description of his characteristics and achievements that made him a notable hero. Now, there are 5 types of informational text focusing on different aspects of the topic being discussed and using different signal words to connect the ideas in the text. The first one in our list is definition. As the word implies, this type of informational text tells about characteristics, features, and examples to describe a subject. The signal words commonly used for this type of text are is, for example, involves, can be defined as an example, for instance, in fact, is also, is called, and referred to. The second is sequence. This is the step-by-step process showing the order of an event. As you may guess, the signal words commonly used here are first, second, third, now, then, before, after, next, finally, while, and a lot more. The third is cause and effect. It's a type of text that gives the results of an event from its causes. The signal words being used here are so that, because of, thus, therefore, since, in order to, as a result of, this led to, if, then, consequently. The fourth in our table is the comparison and contrast, wherein we try to identify ways how two or more things are alike and different. The signal words are different from, same as, alike, like, similar to, unlike, but, as well as, yet, either, or, not only, but also compared to, in contrast, while, similarly, and however. The fifth in the list is the problem solution type. This informational structure states the problem and what can be done to solve the problem. The signal words for this type of informational text are a problem is, a solution is, the problem is solved by, a possible answer, therefore, in conclusion. Factual texts, on the other hand, okay, inform readers about different topics. Let us look at this table showing the different factual text types. We have the first one, which is description. It describes places or objects using factual details. An example of this type is promotional brochures of condominiums. The second is explanation. It explains how or why something happens. The examples are diagrams and flowcharts. Next is informational report. It gives factual information about people, animals, things, or phenomena. It is usually used on programs like Matanglawin and Amazing Earth. Then, we have the procedure. This gives instruction on how to do or make something. We can read this on recipes, manual for troubleshooting cell phones, or other gadgets. Lastly, we have the recount. This factual text type retells past events in chronological order. The examples given here are history books. Now, let us discuss what an authentic text is. Authentic text is print, audio, and visual documents created and used by native speakers. Examples of this include books, websites, articles, artwork, films, folktales, music, advertisements, videos, posters, news, songs, food, and commercials. Authentic texts are written for real-world purposes and audiences. It aims to entertain, inform, explain, guide, document, or convince. Authentic reading materials include published works that are typically encountered by students in daily life, such as in magazines, books, or newspapers. Authentic materials are not created specifically to be used in the classroom, but they are make excellent learning tools for students precisely because they are authentic. Now, let us have an activity. Directions. Read the following informational, factual text and identify their type. Write the letter of your choice on a separate sheet of paper. The choices are A. Description, B. Explanation, C. Informational, D. Procedure, and E. Recount. Are you ready? Let's have number 1. This morning at 9 a.m., a school bus collided with a car at the intersection of Kanumay East Service Road and Paso de Blas Main Road. There were no injuries incurred by the passengers in the school bus, but medical personnel performed checks on each student and the driver before those students were transported to their schools. The driver of the car sustained slight, non-life-threatening injuries. He was transported to the local hospital. The accident still under investigation. Answer is letter E, recount. It retells the past event in chronological order. Let's have question number 2. Advances in science and technology have made the use of green energy possible. In places where climate conditions permit, people can use solar energy or wind energy for power. Solar energy is the use of sunlight for energy and power. Humans can harness the energy of the sun by installing solar panels on their homes or businesses. Humans have also found ways to harness the power of the wind by using wind turbines to capture wind energy. Both of these forms of green energy are being used more and more. So, what is the type of text? The correct answer is letter B, explanation. It explains how and why the use of green energy became possible. And that is through the advances in science and technology. Number 3. The school science fair was a success again this year. We had 15 teams participating and they all had amazing projects. Each team consisted of 2 students who designed a science experiment to test a hypothesis, created a display of their experiment and results, and presented their display to the judges. The winners this year were Sarah Jones and Mark Gordon, who hypnotized that students get into less trouble in the classroom on days when it is sunny outside. The judges were very impressed with their data collection methods, which included asking teachers to share information on how many students earned stars at the end of each day. They correlated this information with their data about the weather, sunny, cloudy, or rainy. What do you think is a type of informational text? Answer is letter C. It is an example of informational report. The passage or text gave factual information about the event, which is the school science fair. Number 4. My dog's fur felt like silk against my skin, and her black coloring shone, absorbing the sunlight and reflecting it like a pure, dark mirror. What do you think is the kind of informational text? This one is short and easy. It is letter A, description. The speaker describes his or her dog's fur. Easy. Let's have number 5. Why and how do volcanoes actually erupt? Volcanoes erupt when molten rock called magma rises to the surface. Magma is formed when the Earth's mantle melts. Melting may happen where tectonic plates are pulling apart or where one plate is pushed down under another. Magma is lighter than rock, so rises towards the Earth's surface. As the magma rises, bubbles of gas form inside it. Running magma erupts through openings or vents in the Earth's crust before flowing into the surface as lava. If magma is thick, gas bubbles cannot easily escape, and pressure builds up as the magma rises. When the pressure is too much, an explosive eruption can happen, which can be dangerous and destructive. Another way an eruption happens is when water underneath the surface interacts with hot magma and creates steam. This can build up enough pressure to cause an explosion. You got 10 seconds. Go! Correct answer is another letter B. It is an explanation again. It explains how a volcano erupts. Now, let's have our summary. As a summary, informational text is a type of text that gives facts about people, objects, or events. Its two basic elements are classification and description. There are 5 types of informational text, and these are definition, sequence, cause and effect, comparison and contrast, and problem and solution. Factual texts, on the other hand, inform readers about different topics. They may be written by giving description, explanation, informational report, procedure, or through a recount. Finally, authentic text is print, audio, and visual documents created and used by native speakers. Authentic texts are written for real-world purposes and audiences to entertain, to inform, explain, guide, document, or convince. My dear learners, if you have reached this part of the lesson, please click the heart button in the comment section for me to know that you're still there. Thanks. Okay, so we are now on the part of the live stream where, just like before, I will answer some of your questions written in the comment box. I will give you 1 minute to type in your questions below. Please do not ask questions that are not related to our topic today. And your 1 minute starts right now. We are now going to read some of your questions from the comment section, and I will try to answer them for you. Let's have question number 1. What is the difference between informational and factual text? Great question. Actually, not much. Informational text is a type of text that gives facts about people, objects, or events. On the other hand, inform readers about different topics. They may be giving description, explanation, informational report, procedure, or through a recount. And thank you for your question. Let's have question number 2. How to spot whether a text is a description or informational report type of factual text? Nice question. A description type of text describes places or objects using factual details, while informational report type of text gives factual information about people, animals, things, or phenomena. And that's the difference. Okay, so thank you for your question. Let's have question number 3. What is authentic text? What is the use of it? Okay, another great question. Authentic text is print, audio, and visual documents created and used by native speakers. In our subject, these are texts written in English for use in the real world and have a real-world function. It may be to entertain, to inform, to explain, to guide, document, or to convince people. Okay? And I would like to thank you all for your participation and all your questions. Just keep them coming. Remember that learning starts by you asking questions. Just like before, tomorrow is your follow-up discussion with your subject teacher. Please be there. And to all my fellow English teachers watching, the link for my PowerPoint presentation is on the board. You can download it by logging in first your DepEd email address, then another tab, enter the URL to gain access to the file. I hope that you have enjoyed today's lesson. Tune in again for the next live stream of Valenzuela Live for English 6 for Quarter 2. Again, as our Secretary of Education, Leonor Briones mentioned, everyone, please say it with me. In any situation, learning must continue. Stay home, stay safe, and God bless us all. This is Sir Michael, your live streaming teacher for Valenzuela Facebook Live, saying thank you and have a great day.